Welcome back, y'all, to another album review. Hip Hop Babies.
We back.
Stanley, your host. You know, I got my boy Ray with me, as always. And so we got AG Club album review for Imposter Syndrome. This one's been cooking for a while, just because you know this is an AG Club project, so you know that they're gonna do something totally off the wall, wacky, fuck your expectations type shit. So I really just wanted to sit with this before we talked about it at all. I know it wasn't that long. It's been a little bit since it came out. Yeah, we here now, bro. We here now.
We were rocking with AG for a minute, so we wanted to formulate our opinions, and they didn't have a total concept, but I felt like it was a little bit more. Me personally, I wanted to figure it out because the interludes and little things. And we didn't review their last other projects because I think they came out when we were going through a transition period, you know, just like they have, you know. So, creating content, you know, it gets tough out here. But with this album, like ever since they've been changing and figuring it out as a group, especially, you know, I think getting signed and, you know, finding ways to market themselves in certain ways, you know, make different types of music. I feel like this is the album where it's not started to click again, but they've put it together in this new field they are in. That's not me saying fuck your expectation was bad or anything, but it was a double album. That's a lot to do. Even artists that have been in the game, sometimes they never do double albums because it's hard work. So this one was, you know, they dropped it, the cover is tight. I like the cover a lot. I wanted to figure out what they meant by Imposter Syndrome because I've always thought AG Club was different in the sense that they try different things. They've always been experimental, or they mix up different sounds in their music. So to hear them tackle it and kind of touch on that with this album was cool to see. I fuck with the vibe they went for.
Imposter Syndrome basically means is inability to believe that you have made it to success based off of your own personal skill or ability to do something, right? So I can kind of see that. I mean, you know, AG Club's one super like mega hit so far has been Memphis. That's not necessarily just them, you know. What they show on this album is they got a whole bunch of different sides to them, right? Memphis obviously a big influence for the group, but every artist, every group has influences that come and go. You get inspired by different things. That might not necessarily be the only thing that you want to focus on creatively, sonically. So really, it's a continuation of the message that I got from Fuck Your Expectations, which is we might not be meant to be here, but nigga, we here now. So you gonna hear this music for sure. So.
Especially after everything they've been through as a group. You know, all the transformations and, you know, figuring out how to work with who you got, you know, because they've lost members and stuff. Fuck Your Expectations. Literally coming at you with some different shit. I feel like it was more aggressive. You know, double album we're doing, you know, that's, like I said, big step. A lot of stuff to do, especially after the big changes they had to make. And they did a good job with that one. This one, just like you said about Memphis, right? That's their big hit. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, people are like, oh, they made Memphis, right? You know, especially when I see people talking about them online. But they've been doing way more than that for a minute. And I feel like this album will help show that, especially now that they've, you know, they kind of have a flow. You know, the singles for this were tight as hell. Personally, I like Kevin a lot. I like Mr. Put It On too. I feel like that was a cool track with the sample and everything. They always find some cool little samples to work in their beats. That's what I'm saying. Like they're different, especially being from the Bay Area. You know, coming from damn near where we come from, they do a sound that's not the prototypical Bay Area thing. And I think that also has to do with the, you know, Imposter Syndrome, you know. It's dope to hear someone, you know, that's made it to where, you know, where you come from and see them make music that people want to listen to, because people were talking about this album a lot, and people still are. They have a fan base.
You literally cannot have expectations when you come into these albums, because otherwise you're just going to be disappointed, right? And I don't know, maybe me being like an earlier fan would make me feel a certain type of way when I first heard this, and it wasn't what I was expecting per se. But, you know, you kind of just have to check yourself and be like, why do I really have expectations for this kind of music anyways? And shouldn't I really just be coming into it open-minded? So reality, why it took me so long is because I had to come at this without any biases. And when you do come at this album like that, like, bro, this album is really good. Really, really good. And hits on all the marks that it's trying to hit on. I know that Jody is like a killer when he comes and he raps, right? Something about putting him on these beats and stuff. It just like, it throws you off for a second when you first hear it. You just like, okay, I don't know if this is what I was expecting, especially when Kevin came out, when Kevin first came out, right? I don't think anybody was expecting that
No.
that type of video.
Video.
Yeah, the video is crazy. Like just the different types of mediums that they use in the production of the videos. I mean, we saw with the newest single that they just dropped, Flipping Shit. That video is dope. Make sure y'all check that one out too. But like they just do like different stuff just to see if they can do it. It feels like, right? And most of the time it works. Most of the time that they can do it. From the moment you turn this project on, you listen to Adam Sandler, like you got the like poppy like synth like coming in.
Yeah,
like,
they're singing and then they're rapping like, yeah, poppy. They've known that they can, like, they have a fan base and they're also trying to build an audience that is able to accept them being who they are and expressing themselves in a way in the hip hop medium that a lot of artists don't. Maybe they want to, and I feel like that's what they're touching on this album. Like, I feel like they wanted to do this, or they wanted to figure out how to do it like this. It clicked with this album, and they put out the album they wanted. With their last one, I feel like it was a lot of emotions, a lot of like pushing through and figuring it out. With this one, it felt, and maybe I'm wrong, but it felt more, I'm not gonna say it reminded me more of one of their first projects, but it gave me that, like, I'm tapping back in with you, and if you're a fan, you're seeing where I'm at, maybe more so mentally. I'm showing you a part of myself or what's been going on since we came up at this level and we've been through all we've been through. Mm-hmm. And it's dope to see that because it's almost like a celebration, but they still have a lot more room and a lot more places to grow in. Jody, when he wants to spaz on a track, he can, but of course he leaves room for just more melodic, just more like, you know, chill. Even him, you know, he'll chill out and just start talking and stuff. And that's dope to see as well. You know, allowing Baby Boy to do the hooks or flex his singing skills, especially later on this album. It's a dope combo. It's dope because you have one side that's, you know, more aggressive, but also could tap into that emotional side. Then you have Baby Boy will kind of do that, but he's kind of, you know, more grounded in the soft, more like R&B, but also he can rap too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you get the best of both worlds. I feel like the interludes even added to the album. I know you say you don't like interludes all the time, but I feel like it gave me a vibe of like your friends are chilling and y'all just talking shit, or like y'all talking about some deep shit.
It's the club, bro. It's AG Club, right? It's family function. You know?
I know, but as far as like rappers, and I know this hasn't ever really been their thing, but they're not acting hard, especially being from the Bay. They're not talking about like gangsta shit or nothing. They're just being themselves and making good music. But I just like the vibe and what they went for. Bodega Bandit getting a Kill Smith. I feel like that was a really good feature for him. You know, he used to work with Odd Future and shit. So to see him working with them, and I kind of get that vibe as far as like they're in that alternative rap scene and they're, you know, trying to make like crazy different music, because that track was aggressive as hell and I loved it. They know who to work with. They still work with Sam Truth and Redville on this with Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So they obviously have like their associates and people they learn to trust and work with, which is tight as hell. Again, building chemistry, because I feel like that was a dope track too. Tattoo, love Tattoo. I forgot if that was a single, but I know they did a video for it, so it might be a single after the album drop. You know, it wasn't before.
That was crazy, bro. That he barred it up on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've always felt like Jody would do that, but I feel like, especially on the first half of this project, he was reminding niggas like, I could rap my ass off too. Because I feel like with the other one, it was a lot more collab. Trying some other things. I feel like this one, it was like their sound, and he was rapping his ass off in that sound super well whenever he rapped.
I think that the sounds that were used in most of the songs too were just great. I mean, like, you talking about Tattoo, like the beat is just crazy.
Nuts.
Gives him so much room while it's still doing the perfect amount in the background to keep you entertained with the beat and the verse at the same time, like going back and forth. And then something else I really love on this project, I just feel like they've been doing this for however long now, right? And now they've been on tour and they're like refining their sound to their audience. And it really just shows on this album a lot. Like, I feel like the calm response portions on this, you were talking about Bodega Bandit, like the beginning of that.
Mr. Put It On, punk, rock, like they're really good at that.
The beginning of Bodega Bandit for sure. And then Bodega Bandit at the corner of the street, Be Cautious How You Talking to Me. Like, anytime Baby Boy comes on with a chorus where he's just repeating shit, I just feel like he just knows how to read a crowd so easily, knows how to manipulate them, and their music shows. Like, it's just super interactive. It may not be deepest lyrically at times, but it's not trying to be like that. It's trying to just be like in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's time for that, and there's room for that on other parts of the project, and there's also just times to have fun, to interact with the crowd, to, you know, just do their own thing, right?
Yeah.
So
when they start getting more emotional, Baby Boy really starts to flex as far as like his songwriting and like trying to push a vibe. It's after True Religion. True Religion, it was a single as well. Rock AG Club, they dabbled with it. It was dope to see them damn near do a rock song. It was cool. Didn't overstay his welcome. And then after that, you get the more emotional, like, it reminded me of Hangover and stuff like that. Like it was them tapping back into that, and they didn't disconnect away from that with the other project, but it was like a double album and it was a lot of tracks, so I felt like it was different, right? This one, it's like they fully tapped into just making one project, and it has all the sides into it, and they can get deep on certain tracks and kind of have fun. Yeah. I mean, Mary is getting into some deep shit, and even the closer. I know I'm saying like after True Religion it's only 3 tracks, but like those 3 tracks at the end, bro, it was they was getting into some deep shit. So
yeah, I mean, I really like the title track, Imposter Syndrome.
Yeah, I love that.
Skipped over that one, but really what I was talking about in the beginning is like this stuff is deeper than fitting in with the industry so that you can rise up in it, right? It's about stamping your mark as an artist and being true to your sound and doing what you want. I think that was really cool.
Sample Love?
Sample Love, and they actually wrote it with Hunter Madrid. It was something that like somebody saw this from the outside and really resonated with them, and they felt like that they could get them to speak on the project for them in the best way possible. It put a stamp on things or a bow on things, like at the end. Yeah, I
feel like it helped tie the concept, the title, and everything together. I already kind of saw that, especially like knowing them and what type of music they make, you know? Like I thought it was really tight that they were naming the album that, because they're different. And I understand how you would feel that way. I understand why you would, you know, make that reference, because, you know, they've had to deal with a lot and they've made it, and it's been a long journey. To hear that put together with that track is saying like, being a creator, you want to create what you want to create. And like people sometimes like, you know, try to want you to put it all together or make it short or make it more understandable. But really, people will understand what you create, especially if you're creating something dope, and they'll make room for it or they'll support it. Yeah, that's why I feel like I really wanted to, like I said, we took our time, but I feel like it was one of those albums. It was worth the time to really try to listen, because like you said, it threw me off at first too. Coming off their last album, it was a shift, and it wasn't only a shift. It was like with the singles, I didn't know what to expect. Like, fuck it, but like with the singles, I didn't know if we were gonna get...
it was. It was. They were a little different, especially, you know, Mr. Put It On.
Mr. Put It On was like,
that's just like a. If you take it out of the context of the album, it's really just like a big single. Like it could be just a big push single. So it really seemed like they could have gone either way with this. They could have gone for like hit chasing or something. You don't know, right? But they really did stay true to themselves at the end of the day. And really, that's all we want to see.
Yeah, because I was slapping the fuck out of Mr. Put It On when they dropped. I like that. Like I said, I like the sample, and I also just like that the hook was catchy. Jody ripped it, and I feel like they would have made an album like that where it was mainly just catchy and like this guy kind of like talking shit. You know, I'm Mr. Put It On. They putting it on. They putting it on for where we're from, and I think that they can go so many ways. They're already going, you know, away right now, but I feel like as they keep making music, as the club keeps getting bigger, as they either further define the relationship with the people they associate with, or they add more people. This is something that is dope to see, because I love when groups aren't the stereotypical hip hop group and they just make music because they think it'll sell, or they make music because they think it'll just like be cool and it'll satisfy their fans. I feel like AG Club challenges their fans, and they're like, okay, well, if you might not like this, but you might like this, or they're gonna like try to put it together on an album. They know how to make a project, and they will do what's in their creative power to make that project what they want it to be. And this album is a good example of that, because I feel like if they were trying to sell out or, you know, try to get more numbers, this is not the album you would necessarily put out. It could work, but you know, I feel like they could have went a whole nother way and it would have been fine as well. But for them to do this, especially at this point in their career, I love to see it. And that's why it's easy to support them, because I feel like we need more music like this, especially coming from the Bay Area, but just in general, especially for it to be popular. Because, you know, people tap into gangster culture, you know, they've been around people, but it's like, not everyone's a gangster. Not everyone wants to hear about some aggressive ass rap shit all the time. Sometimes you want to kick it and just talk about chilling with your friends, or talk about having a good time, or be a bodega bandit, like doing hood rat shit, but not like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It's a little different.
I do really like this music a lot. I like self-empowerment music. I like music about being yourself and all that. However, now we're going to talk a little bit about what I think that could be improved on a little bit. This is a 37-minute project. I feel like direction of the album, as far as like cohesiveness of the tracks, it's not necessarily cohesive. Maybe it might just be the genre blending that makes it feel that way, but I also feel like the lyrical content is so free at times, and they're just doing what they want, having fun, that there is no concept. And it is just about self-empowerment. It is about just being yourself. What will they do from there? Because we did get that on For Your Expectations. And then before that, on Halfway Off the Porch, you know, we're getting like them trying to transition into themselves. So I'm just interested in what's the next chapter after this. We know who you are at this point, and we know that you want to be yourselves, and we know that you're going to stick to that. What kind of, like, I don't know, lessons or whatever, like however you want to point it with your artistic pen, like what is the next thing?
I think they
self-enriching stuff,
yes,
you know?
I think they could never do a full-on concept album. If this wasn't, maybe it is, and we just not, it's not clicking. But I feel like it was loosely connected, but nothing too crazy. And I also just think it's sometimes, you know, it's dope to just have some fun tracks. But I do agree, it was a little short. Some of the tracks were even like short. Like I feel like they could have been a little longer. 37 minutes, but they had just dropped the double album, so maybe they wanted to drop something shorter and concise. You just dropped 2 albums back to back, so it's like this one's shorter. But yeah, I could see them making a more thorough. Like I could see them doing an album for an hour, and I would still like it easily, especially because they dropped the double project that was cool.
That's really all that, like, I would say.
That's all.
Like, this is a shorter project, so even like judging it like that just feels kind of disingenuous in general, because it is good for what it is, right? So I don't really want to critique it like that.
But yeah, I agree. I think they could do something like that. I could see them totally like putting their minds together and making like a conceptual album. And if they don't, it's fine too, because concept albums aren't for everybody.
I mean, they've already done like halfway concepts, Halfway Off the Porch, you know, and Fuck Your Expectations. Like, it is a concept, but it's like so loose that it can just be like anything that they wanted to, and it's not so like lyrically concept wise. So I feel like that they can do a lot lyrically that isn't really tied together and grounded. So it is hard to get into some of these projects just because of how loose they are and how wide your liking of genres and different types of sounds is. If you're not into something that can take you a bunch of different ways, like this might not be for you. But at the same time, it does so much that you're going to be drawn in by at least a few tracks. And if you just take the time to listen to the rest of the tracks as well, you'll realize that even if it's maybe not your flavor, the quality is still there. Like the quality, the passion, the effort is all still there. Yeah, like my criticisms are not real criticisms.
Yeah, it's really small.
It's really just like stuff that I'm hoping for to see in the future that you know, that these guys achieve for themselves, because I think it'd be really dope to see.
I think they could do it, yeah.
And I think that they could do it, you know.
It's more so like, it's not really a criticism, it's more like, I think I see this, like I totally see it too. I can see them making like one project where I'm like, this is the project you have to check out by them, and this is a project you definitely should check out. But I'm saying, like, I see that, man. I still see that, because I think they have so much more room to grow, and it's crazy to say that because we've seen them grow so much from when we first started checking out their stuff. So keep it coming, man. Keep the rock songs coming too. If you want to do more songs like True Religion, I'll fuck with that. Do it. That's dope as hell coming from where we're from, seeing people doing that too. We don't see that ever, really. So
it feels so good, don't it? All right, that was a little corny. That was a little corny.
Since we're saying corny lines, let me say mine. That it came a long way from Off the Porch, bro. They done maneuvered all over, and it's dope to see.
You know that ghost meme From the new Modern Warfare? That's me right now, nigga. I'm beside myself.
Hey, man, you got corny. I'm going to get corny too. Yeah, man, this is dope. This is dope. Recommend, if you got time, check out AG Club, check out Imposter Syndrome, check out their old stuff too. I think if you like this, especially like certain tracks, I think you will like their older music. They go through a bunch of sounds.
I mean,
as usual, so.
Bro, if you listen to AG Club, you damn near got to go to a concert, just because that's the best way to experience this kind of music, anyways. So you definitely gonna have to check out their old shit, because you definitely gonna have to be there for a lot of the call and response stuff. Like I was saying, like they do that stuff so heavy that it's really a big part of their shows, and it really gets you, I don't know, just into it. We really should be promoting this kind of stuff, because like, what is rap but the interaction between?
Yeah, MC rocks the crowd, and they be definitely. When we've seen them a few times now. How many times you think? Like 3, 4, 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Somewhere around there. We've seen them like over the years. They rock the crowd. They've always kind of found ways to rock the crowd, even when they were way smaller. And now that they're bigger, like touring with Denzel and shit, they rock the bigger crowds too. So yeah, keep it coming, man. Might have to go see this live again. Shit. They've been working hard, and it's noted. Check them out when you got time. Please check them out.
That being said, thank y'all so much for checking this out. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all listen to AG Club, most importantly. I don't know why you haven't already. You sleep, bro. You all the way sleep. Come on, East Bay's own, bro. It's an East Bay podcast, East Bay channel. You gotta support East Bay's own. What's wrong with you? Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyways, make sure y'all send us beats. Make sure y'all send us motherfucking commentary. Make sure y'all send us feedback. Make sure y'all comment on my shit. Thank y'all so much. Even if you feel like you don't belong,
you belong.
Hip Hop Baby's gonna review your shit anyways, bro.
We're gonna always be there.
We got you, bro.
Hey, we damn near been day one fans though. We've been rocking with them for a minute, you know. So I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to review their last project because of timing and a whole bunch of stuff is going on around them. But we had to do this one, so check it out. Thank y'all for watching as usual. Peace.